So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to make a very cheap and easy electrical indicator. So I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to stick it to something. If you are thinking about sticking it to some sort of a wooden table, maybe think again, because it could peel the finish off, and wood works nicely, and it's a good insulator. Plastic should work okay as well. So I'm going to just tear another piece off, and I'm going to stick it to the first piece, but I'm not going to put it so that there's a complete overlap. I just want a partial overlap. So my second piece is hanging down a little bit more than the first piece. Now I just kind of rub them together. Okay, and it's important that they stick together pretty nicely there. One thing that you might notice is that the tape moves towards my finger. Now that is an indication that I am not grounded, so to speak. So I'll see if I can get myself grounded a little bit. It seems like it's probably not going to happen. And this is a problem that I typically have, but hopefully you won't have the same issue. You'll be able to maybe touch a metal sink and then it'll all work out. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to smooth them together a little bit more. I'm doing this in part to try to make sure that any charge that they have is not due to me. Basically, I want my charge on them to be kind of equal. So now I'm going to tear them apart from each other. And it's important I put the sticky side of one on the smooth side of the other. And so now I'll tear them apart from each other, and I'll make it so that the smooth sides are near each other. When I bring them together, close to each other, they get attracted. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put them back on this, and this should be a good insulator. Actually, I don't want to rub too much. Now I don't know how much charge is on each one. I don't know which way they're charged, but I do know that they have opposite charges because they attracted towards each other. Ideally, I wouldn't have let them touch again on their smooth sides because we could have gotten some transfer of charge. But I'm going to see if I can do this while it's still going to work. Actually, I might just try this. I'm going to take this piece of tape, this tape container, I'm going to just rub it against my hair, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to just rub this piece of tape container on my hair, and you could use a balloon, you could use something other than your hair, for instance, maybe a piece of cloth or a towel or something, and then I bring it near here, and ideally one gets attracted and one gets repelled. And I don't know if you can see that. It is actually working. The one on the, I guess it's going to be your right, is getting repelled, and the one on the left is getting attracted. Okay? So what this allows us to do is a little experiment. First of all, try to get the tape to work and try to charge something up. And then you'll be able to see what combination of charges gives you like and unlike charges. And I'd label the tapes maybe for you guys right, I believe that's correct, yeah, right and left, and then name the charges. So this one has a right charge because it's repelling the right piece of tape. And like charges repel, opposite charges attract. So my head then must have become left charged. And I'm not using positives and negatives because I have no idea which one is which. Okay? But I do know that my head is charged the same way as the left piece of tape, and this tape container is charged the same way as the right piece of tape. And so then you can see if other combinations, maybe if you take a towel and rub it against your hair, maybe the towel will be left taped, and then you'll know that your head in that case is right taped. Okay, so we can look at different combinations. One of the things that I'd like you to do is after you try a series of combinations, and to be clear, actually, let's come up with a better way of naming. This tape here was the tape that was on the bottom. This tape here was the tape that was on the top. So we'll do it by that method. So the bottom tape and the top tape. And that's important because the top tape had a sticky side up against the bottom tape, which was on the smooth side. And the reason that they got this charge is because of something called triboelectricity. And we don't know which way they're charged, but we do know that they're oppositely charged. And so then I could say that the tape container, in this case, was bottom charged and my hair was top charged. So then if I rub something else against my hair, maybe that becomes top charged and my hair becomes bottom charged. And so I want you to use some items, rub them against each other, see which type of tape they are. Now you're probably going to have to refresh the tape or get new pieces of tape over time because they're going to lose their charge, particularly if it's a humid day. One thing that you can count on though is that the bottom tape will always be the same charge and the top tape will always be the same charge. Just try to take care to make sure that they are attracting each other a little bit and that you can find something that causes them to do opposite things, attract to the one thing or repel to the other. If you find that they're both attracting to an object, that means that either the tape themselves or the object that you thought that you had charged is uncharged or very, very weakly charged. And so you're going to have to start over with at least new pieces of tape or try another object and see if that one causes them to have the desired effect. Alright, so I'll also put a little write-up for what I want you to do, but I wanted to give you a little video introduction into what it's going to look like and how the procedure works.